What up? What up? What up? What up? It is another episode of Square One. And instead of the four-headed monster, it's just a two-headed monster today. Me and the co-founder of the show, Nzo Hodges of Biggaford Entertainment. What's going on with you, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was watching that intro, man, and I was like, man, I wish I could actually like play with those characters so I could whoop the shit out of all three.
Oh, yeah, it's time for an update, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe shift it, give us another update, man. But man, that intro is fire. Every time I hear that music, man, I be like,
100%.
that's on point. Thank you all for joining us. Who's in the chat? Samuel Stokes. And what up, though, Major?
What up?
And man, we here. We got 6 topics for today. I think you're gonna definitely like these topics. Very interesting. And we're gonna go ahead and get into it.
Let's do it.
Tomorrow is the battle of the NFC East. I think it is the Dallas Cowboys or Dallas Cowgirls. Some people refer to them as, and the Eagles. The question
Oh,
of it is it a must win for the Cowboys, or is the Eagles a more important win for the Eagles? What
that's
do
a
you
good
think?
question. I think it's more important for the Cowboys because Cowboys have lost some really crappy games. I think the Eagles lost a couple too. Um,
I think they only won. I think Eagles only 7-1, if I'm not mistaken.
7-1. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's way more important for the Cowboys. Cowboys got a lot to prove. They're playing shitty teams and losing. They're getting some couple wins there. But if you can't beat San Francisco, if you can't beat Philly, there's no way you're making a Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree. I agree. I think it's definitely more important for the Cowboys. The Eagles, like I said, 7-1. Cowboys are 5-2. So I don't have faith in that. It's like what Shannon Sharp says. Their defense, they do the scoop and score. If they don't do that, and I think the Eagles got a superior secondary. So
Mhm.
if they don't do that, and I'm a big fan of Tony Pollard, I think his name is. I can't
Yeah.
get his last name, but he's not been doing that well this season. Like he does better behind someone instead of being the primary back. When he was a
Hmm.
secondary back, he definitely outshined Ezekiel Elliott last year. But this year, or maybe it could have been the injury he sustained last year. Maybe he's not back at 100%. I'm not sure, but he doesn't seem to me, my eye test seem to be the same back he was last year. So I'm a little concerned about that. But we shall see. It's gonna be definitely. I mean, it may be the game of the week. It's either that one. Or it's gonna be the one between Miami and Kansas City. I'm not sure which one's gonna be the game of the week, but I'm definitely gonna catch both of them.
Oh, for sure. And just to go back to what you said a little bit, it ain't that hard to outshine Ezekiel.
Come on now, come on now. Uh,
Especially last year.
Ezekiel cost me a little bit of jelly beans this year. Cause what's up, Anik? What's up? How you doing?
Put
Um,
up Nick Jones.
I would have sworn. I feel like if it was me, if I was an NFL caliber running back, and my team that I started with traded with me, and I get a chance to play against them, I'm gonna drink whatever Gatorade. I'm gonna make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep. If I can get some kind of extra, drink some Monsters energy drink, whatever I could to have the edge, I'm gonna. And then my moniker is feed me, feed me. I be telling, hey Belichick, coach, feed me, give me as many carries as I can stand because I want to run this ball straight down their throat. So he didn't do any of that. Jerry Jones kind of, to me, he hoodwinked him because he did a little presentation for him and showing, oh, we love you, Zeke, and this, and all this kind of bull crap. And man, he fell for it. He fell
Coach,
for it, Zeke. And I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I wanted Zeke to run over them boys, but hey, he didn't do it. So I don't know. I don't know.
hey, listen, I understand. You know what I mean. You like the running back position. I can tell that, right? I think
Yes,
that's your favorite position. Yeah. So
yes.
you're always trying to pretty much give them the benefit of the doubt, but
It's just hard to see, and they fall off the cliff faster than any other position.
hmm
Um, my point with Le'Veon Bell. He's during this time he was my favorite back, and I hate to see what happened to him. Ezekiel Elliott was my favorite back, but the history I have with Dallas, and I don't like Dallas. So anybody
yeah.
get a chance to outshine them, I'm rooting for them. but he didn't do it. So maybe when he get that money, he was like, "Oh, it don't matter." I don't know. It doesn't seem like he had that fire, the backs that I've seen in the old days. So I don't know.
I agree. I'm right there with you. I just think the Cowboys do need a running back. But they also got to be playing more consistent. And I agree with you too. I don't have faith in Dak. And it's
Yeah.
funny because I needed a quarterback in the fantasy league, so I picked up Dak, and I'm
Mm.
like, you know what I mean. My boy was like, "Hey man, why'd you pick up Dak?" And I was like, "You know what? I need a quarterback. I'm gonna
What up,
just pick
Tony?
him up." Then we were talking last week, and you guys were talking about Aaron Rodgers like coming back early, right? So I said, "All right, cool. I'm gonna go fucking snatch up Aaron Rodgers just in case." I dropped Dak. Guess who picked up Zach right after I
The
dropped
boy that told you why'd you drop him?
him? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. These suckers, man. I'm telling you, if you want to be successful on fantasy, you can't trust nobody. Don't tell
facts.
them no secrets or nothing. If you see something, because there's something that I do, but I don't tell nobody because if I do, they'll be just that I don't
hmm
know. So the
hmm
end of the season, now I say, okay, well, this is what I did, blah blah. But during the season, man, you gotta keep tight to the chest, bro, if you want to
One
win.
hundred percent.
Yeah,
I
because
texted him. I was like, "Really?" And he just
yeah,
sent me back the three smiley laughing emojis.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
like, "I was
'Cause
desperate, man." I was like,
yeah,
"Okay, I see you."
yeah. Sam Stokes said Ravens versus Seahawks. Bro, I don't know what you drinking. I'd like to have some, but I don't think the viewership for Dallas. Dallas is the most highly viewed football team in the
Team.
NFL. I'm just
Uh-huh.
sorry. I hate to say it, but damn if it ain't true. So I do not see um Ravens versus Seahawks being the game week. It's gonna be Dallas and the Eagles. And it's definitely gonna be the return of Tyreek Hill to Kansas City, playing against Kansas City, which I got a question later on that topic. That's one of the topics. So that's what I think is gonna be more. And I watched both Undisputed and I watched both First Take, and I ain't seen nothing on there about Ravens and Seahawks. So I'm just saying.
It might be a good game. You know what I mean? It might be a good game, but game of the week is gonna be one of the ones you said. That's not gonna be a game of the week. Ravens should beat the Seahawks, to be honest with you, anyways, right? That's what I'm going for.
I would hope so. I hope my quarterback have a good because last game he did not. He's so up and down. Lamar Jackson. Last week he did not have a good game.
Oh, I know. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, that's why he beat me because he gave me like a whole 8 points. I'm
Yeah.
like, really? The week before you gave me 40 something points. Now this week you gonna give me 8 points. Really?
The week hey man, I've given up. Even if I win every game going further, I
Yeah.
still ain't making the playoffs. So I'm just done.
Yeah. Um,
Tony Brown tried to get you.
yeah, Tony, that's my boy. Work with here
Yeah.
where I live
He
at.
tried. He tried to
Man, he
Jedi you, eh?
him and another partner. We in the fantasy football league. This is kind of funny. I got a pretty strong team in our league at where we work at. We do it just for fun. And so one of the guys who was in first place taught me, they made this little deal. Well, I'm gonna let you borrow this running back for this week, go against
Mm-hmm.
Danny. And then after that, we'll switch back. Well, the guy let him get it. He let the guy get running back. It was Derrick Henry. But I
You
still
never
beat him.
give.
And then now he don't want to hardly give him back. And now he had to do some kind of crazy trade. He told me yesterday to get him back. But then what I did, I told the guy, I said, look, don't give him back to Tony. I done caught y'all trying to double team me, so you might as well go ahead and keep him. So he kept him like an extra week. But that's kind of like the running joke at the where I work at now. But it's all
Hey,
good, man. You having
hey.
fun.
To be honest with you, I'd have probably kept him too. I'd get messages. My phone would not be answering. Hey, where you
I don't blame you. You're gonna switch to a basketball topic. You know I like that. Where is my background here? Boom.
And
Okay.
we know when it comes to basketball, there is only one topic that we need to be talking about.
It's
Guess
on
what?
here, but it ain't the first topic. This topic
That's it.
to me is more juicier than that topic.
James Harden.
No.
Oh, really?
Marcus Jordan,
Oh, hmm
the son of the great, the GOAT, in my opinion. Michael Jordan, wants his pop to be his best man as he marries Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. Tell me that ain't crazy.
That that is like a fuck you to Scottie Pippen and Jordan Bevan.
Bruh. Why he
but
putting his
how
daddy in that? Why he putting his daddy in that position?
but how does Jordan not do it? How do you not be the best man of the
Bruh. I mean,
Jordan?
that is the proverbial rock in the hard place.
Mm-hmm.
My son gonna ask me to be the best man in my teammate's ex-wife. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't put my dad in that. If I was Marcus, I would not. He got to have more friends than his daddy.
I agree.
He got to. To me, I think that's kind of putting salt in the wound.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
100%.
think. I don't think I'd do it. I don't. I love my son. I don't think I'd son, bro. I'm look.
So now your friend has been talking nothing but shit about you.
I don't care. That's going to make it look like
Yeah,
that's going to make it look like what he said was true. And if it ain't true, I'm not going to do something to perpetuate that story. I'm just not going to do it. That's a bad look. To me. I just wouldn't do it.
no, I agree with you. It's not a good look. I just would have a hard time like choosing my son over anybody, even though it's the wedding. You know what I mean? I'd have a hard time doing that. But yeah, it does not look good. You don't put your
But
father in that situation.
and in fact, I would be talking to my son hard. Look, man, this woman used to keep you. She used to be your babysitter.
Facts.
So you gonna do that? And you know I'm Michael Jordan. That you know who I am. I am known worldwide,
Mhm.
universe. I get a certain reputation. I'm not saying I don't love you, and I'm not saying I'm not going to support you, but bruh,
For real though.
you put me in a jam.
For real. Big jam.
So I don't know. I would have to have a long talk with my son, bro. He would have to convince me that can't nobody else do it.
hmm And not only that too, right? Because even though, Pippen has said a lot of stuff about Jordan, Jordan's never really said anything bad about Pippen, right? He's just
Yeah.
let it go. So this him doing it is kind of like, hey, guess what, guys? You know what I mean?
If
Fuck
he do
Pippen
it,
kind of
if
thing.
he do it to me, it would look like he's petty, just like Pippen being petty. Because I heard
hmm
somebody ask him, did he agree with the relationship, and he said no.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they said no, I do not agree with the relationship. So if I don't agree with the relationship, I don't think I'm gonna be a part of it. And I'm gonna give you this prime example, and I don't. This is just me. I have nothing against homosexual people. It's just not my particular lifestyle. And my daughter and I had this particular conversation, and the question was, "What if one of your grandsons?" I said, "Look, I will not be a part of that. When they come to my house, will I treat them with respect? Yes, but if I don't believe in something, it's the same thing. How about if it was a bunch of drug dealers or something, or
hmm
something that I morally did not agree with? I wouldn't do it. I just
hmm
wouldn't do it. So I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm morally disagreeing with it, I'm not going to do it. I don't care who it is, wife, son, daughter, whatever. I just won't do it. I said, look, I can't do it. A prime
I'm like,
example for me, my I don't mean to cut you off, but my
yeah.
brother was in prison for many times. I didn't go visit him.
hmm
I went and visited him when I got my soul right, and I made up. But I told him if this happens again, I'm not coming back, and I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. So I mean,
It's against your moral value. Completely
I
understand that.
agree.
I'm
Yep.
like Tony Brown though. I'm petty as hell. I'd be hugging Scott, my wife,
Boy,
Scottie Pippen's new wife. Oh, welcome to the family.
wow.
Yeah, I'd be having pictures with
Hell,
me and
I do it
smile
like
on
you
my
said. Lonzo, his friend, has been talking trash about him, and I'm picking up my son. I'm going to laugh in his face like, God, boy. It's real
face.
good, Tony. I'm surprised at you, Tony. We're going to have a conversation at work about
you
this
see,
one.
you'd see a picture with me, my son, his wife. We all hugging and smiling.
Wow.
I'd make sure to wear my championship rings too.
Ooh. Then have on his jersey too, huh?
Yeah, for real.
Or
For
the
real.
God. Uh, that's crazy.
It is. It is. Jordan's in a predicament there too. But I mean, from what from what I've been hearing, is like their relationship will never be fixed.
No,
You know what I mean?
I don't. Jordan seems to be somebody that holds grudges,
Hmm.
and no matter whatever you say, Jordan and Nakia cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
You don't know. You
Right.
don't know Nakia, but Tony knows who I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's a guy at our job. Once you cross him, that's it.
Hmm.
There ain't no apologizing. There ain't no trying to fix it. He is done with you. And I'm like, bro, he said, that's serious? You mean? I said, man, I know you about 10. He said, Danny, he said, I don't think we ever happen. He said, but if I get to that point, and I believe him, I done seen him done a couple of them. I seen one person he fixed it with, and that was
Oh
like
yeah.
the anomaly. Other than that,
Hmm.
he's dead.
So that's the thing, though, right? We already know Jordan. That means Jordan's not petty. You know what I'm saying? If Because we already know he's not going to fix that relationship, or the relationship's not going to be able to fix. But the fact that he is hesitant about doing it shows he's not petty. But I'm
Yeah.
petty. I'm gonna do
Wow.
it.
Wow. So, God, lost my train of thought. Something I was going to say. But it'll come back. But yeah, Jordan, my heart goes out to you, bro, because you are definitely in that proverbial rock and a hard place. I don't know how you're gonna do that. I don't know how you're gonna navigate that
See, since
because you know
Donnie likes Jordan, his heart goes out to him. Mine
it
doesn't.
does. But
Mine
see, look at
doesn't.
it. See, your heart would go out. If it was old Popovich, you'd be, oh God, Greg, how you gonna do it? Or Tim Duncan, you'd be. No, if it was Jonathan Majors, you'd probably be crying and trying to get a GoFundMe fund started.
Well, let me say this, because I I knew about some of the rumors, right, about Tim Duncan and his wife and stuff like that. But then I watched this little video, and come to find out that one of his kids might be Robert Ory's.
Woo! Boy, that's
Yeah,
fire.
you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, if that's the case, fuck you too, Robert Ory.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
fuck
know, tell
you.
me, man, back, man, NBA, man, they said one time it's a cesspool, man. You see how old boy trying to date LeBron mama in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Tony
messed him up.
Parker
Not
slept
Tony
with
Parker.
Brent
It was
Berry's wife. No,
yeah,
I know. Tony Parker slept with Brent Berry's wife, and
yeah,
he had Eva Longoria at the time. And I'm like, what?
yeah, yeah. Boy, it don't, man, it's crazy,
But I seen
crazy.
Brent Berry's wife. She was hot too. I was like, okay, Tony Parker, I see you. But
Yeah, so using a little French stuff, wee, and underwear fell off. I guess I don't know.
100%. 100%. Would you like a croissant? Oh, yes. Yeah, my
Oh God, that's the best one. I gotta clip that one. Would you like a croissant? Yeah, I bet she did like the croissant with the cream cheese, everything else. On it. Oh, that was a good one. Oh. All right, we're gonna go back to football. Football. This is the question of the week. Who made the biggest mistake? Who got the most out of it? Tyreek Hill will be facing the Chiefs tomorrow. They're playing over in Germany. The first time ever NFL played in Germany. Um,
Ooh.
it was on undisputed. Well, yeah, undisputed. It was asked. Skip Bayless asked a question, and Michael Irvin answered up. And I want to play a piece of that clip because he was very entertaining in his answer. And boy, I kind of laughed at it. Boy, it was funny. So
Cool.
let me see. Let me see. Go ahead.
While you find that, did you ever watch the Dreamers Pro where Marcellus Wiley came
Oh
on?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm. That was a good show, but I have to say, I was really disappointed with the dude from Dreamers Pro, because anytime someone says
He
that
was.
LeBron is better than Jordan, he
Oh
goes
yeah.
off on them, and he did not go off. He
He
didn't
did.
even challenge him.
He's telling him a little bit at the end, but he want to try. He's trying to get into that next level. So he ain't gonna bite the hand that feeds him because he did a survey saying the next day, would it be a good idea to have Marcellus Wiley or whatever his name is on the show? So he's trying to broker that deal to get him on
Yeah,
the show on a weekly basis. So I can see where he at. Once he get his foot in the door, I think he'll be a little bit more aggressive. But it'd be crazy to go off. I think I ain't gonna go off and disrespect somebody and have that same energy I have against people I don't know. And when somebody already at the mountaintop where I'm trying to get, hey, I'm trying to get in that door. Then once I find that space, then I can be a little bit more aggressive. That's what I think. I don't know, but I wish I was like, man, you ain't got a lot of energy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And he didn't have to really go at him, but he could have, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, no, no, I agree with this. And what, like, have that back and forth that he usually has, at least, like, positive one. Didn't have to be like, oh, you're a fool for thinking that way or anything like that. But I think they could have had that back and forth, you know what I mean? And he just, like, pretty much kicked his ass to me. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he did a little puckering. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what Michael Irvin said about it.
That, quote unquote, worked out well for both parties. So, Michael, do you agree with that? Or which team did win this trade?
Stop. And I understand when people are saying, Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, and they didn't have to pay Tyreek.
I'm on stream. If I'll see the link, you can watch if you want to.
Sheddy up. Let me tell you the reality. If the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, if they had kept this thing intact, whatever they do, they would double. If they win a Super Bowl without Tyreek, they would have won at least 2. If they win 2, I promise you they would have won 4. They had the perfect situation in the ultimate offense because you had the best deep threat, one of the best deep threat this league has ever seen, and you had the best intermediate route running tight end. You coupled him with one of the greatest quarterbacks and one of the greatest play callers and designers we've ever seen. It was a perfect team. No matter what you did, they had something to counter when they had Tyreek here. Yes, they won the Super Bowl last year. So everybody says, well, if they won the Super Bowl, then obviously they won the trade. Now, I just don't buy into that. You see the struggles that they're having right now. They won the Super Bowl because they got a Superman back there at quarterback. And he's lift this team up, and he keeps lifting them up. It looks like now they're getting a little heavy in the lifting. Looks like he's a lot of saw last week what happened in Denver. He's beating Denver every kind of way he can, any kind of way. Took his grandmama, mother, brother, sister. He's all the girls in his family and beat Denver. But last week, he couldn't beat Denver. You know why? Because you keep asking too much of him. He keeps raising people up, and the team has gotten too heavy to even beat Denver. Don't tell me how you're a better team without Tyreek Hill when Tyreek Hill is on his way to 2,000 yards.
Bro, I thought Michael Irvin was a clown when he was on First Take. I have grown to love Michael Irvin and listen to his little pearls that he dropped in there. And when I saw this earlier today, I said, God, let Chris Knight be on it. Please let him come. Because Michael Irvin, he dropped it right there on his lap. Kansas City is winning in spite of themselves because I don't know when they go somebody get. I don't know if they can beat Miami. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting game, and I think unlike Ezekiel Elliott, Tyreek Hill is going to have something to prove because y'all ain't pay me. Yeah, y'all went to Super Bowl, but guess what? I got my quarterback. He ain't got no concussion protocol. And I'm about to put in some work on tomorrow. I think that's going to be the game of the week.
I'm right there with you. And I agree with Michael Irvin too. I'm like, yeah, they did win the Super Bowl, but that's a talent that is really, really hard to get rid of. And when you get rid of someone like that, you better have a damn good replacement. And I don't think they have a good replacement.
What up, Roberto?
What up, fellas?
Yeah, we were talking about who got the better end of the deal. The Miami Dolphins got the better end, or did
Miami?
Did the Chiefs? Did they make a mistake by getting rid of Tyreek Hill? And then we played a clip of what Michael Irvin said, and I'll play it back for you because we believe that Michael Irvin put it right on the dot.
Oh, snap. We're live already.
So, Michael, do you agree with that? Or which team did win this trade?
Stop. And I understand when people are saying, oh, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, and they didn't have to pay Tyreek. Sheddy up. Let me tell you the reality. If the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, if they had kept this thing intact, whatever they do, they would double. If they win a Super Bowl without Tyreek, they would have won at least 2. If they win 2, I promise you they would have won 4. They had the perfect situation in the ultimate offense because you had the best deep threat, one of the best deep threat this league has ever seen, and you had the best intermediate route running tight end. You coupled him with one of the greatest quarterbacks and one of the greatest play callers and designers we've ever seen. It was a perfect team. No matter what you did, they had something to counter when they had Tyreek Hill. Yes, they won the Super Bowl last year. So everybody says, well, if they won the Super Bowl, then obviously they won the trade. I just don't buy into that. You see the struggles that they're having right now. They won the Super Bowl because they got a Superman back there at quarterback. And he's lifted this team up, and he keeps lifting them up. It looks like now they're getting a little heavy in the lifting. Looks like he's starting to hurt his back a little bit because they're dropping a lot of passes. Yeah. And you saw last week what happened in Denver. He's beating Denver every kind of way he can, any kind of way. Took his grandmama, mother, brother, sister, niece, all the girls in his family and beat Denver. But last week, he couldn't beat Denver. You know why? Because you keep asking too much of him. He keeps raising people up, and the team has gotten too heavy to even beat Denver. Don't tell me how you're a better team without Tyreek Hill when Tyreek Hill is on his way to 2,000 yards.
Roberto, do you agree with Michael Irvin's assessment?
100%. 100%.
When I saw this, I was like, Lord, please let Chris not be on here. Because you know Chris now would be, he'd be shuffling and jiving and saying all kinds of stuff. But I told you that, the playmaker, one of the best receivers of all time, broke it down beautifully. And I agree with him 1,000%.
That was literally, because if they had the defense they have this year, I would say that's the best team ever that I've seen. You had every facet of what's required to have a perfect offense on your team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your defense was awful, as Shaq would say, and you guys still won a Super Bowl. And they say you can't win a Super Bowl without defense.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you can win a Super Bowl without defense.
This is what they say. I don't necessarily agree. But if you look at most of the Super Bowl wins, the defense lit it up maybe at that one moment opposed to all season.
I think you got to have some well-placed stops when it counts, if it's tight. But I think if you got a strong offense,
well, you see when you have a strong offense with a weak defense, you have to almost guarantee put up 38 points to have a chance to win.
Yeah.
That gets tiring after a while, man. And you don't have that guaranteed guy that you could throw, in the fourth quarter all the way down the field and guaranteed catch touchdown. You don't have that guy anymore.
Yeah. And he said he's wrong. Bro, how is he wrong? Because, Pat, we're not denying that Patrick Holmes' PM has a great record without Hill. Yeah, he's won a Super Bowl without him. But if you listen to what Michael Irvin said, he said if they won 1 with Hill, they were guaranteed to win 2. If they win 2 with Hill, he's saying without Hill, he's guaranteed to win 4 with Hill. I agree with that assessment.
I agree with it too.
Why did you break that up? There's no way I would have broke that up.
Was it money?
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to be the number 1 highest paid receiver. So playmaker is wrong. All PM needs is a receiver. That's C.
Right. And you know what, Anik? You're right. All he needs is a receiver. But what you got to understand is when you don't have a great receiver, then everything falls on you. And sooner or later, you need help, right? And if you have that one receiver that you can depend on night in, night out, it makes his job a lot easier.
All I'm saying to Anik is that whether you like it or not, whether you don't like him, when you got a receiver on your team that is in pace to catch 2,000 yards to get that person up, to me is crazy. So I would have paid him his money.
Take Brown away from Hurts. You think Hurts is as good as he is?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm telling you, that game against Washington, If it was not for Brown, they lost twice.
Mhm.
That man was doing Megatron stuff in that game. And Hurts gets the accolades. Yeah, you got to throw the ball there, but when you're throwing it to double team without a fear, that says something about your receiver.
I like what Hurts said that he gets hurt when he stays in the pocket. When he run, he don't get hurt. I'm like, I kind of like that. So I hope he beats Dallas. God, I hope he beats Dallas. That was our first.
Oh, that's like Christmas, early Christmas, Daddy.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, that was our first question, Roberto. Cowboys versus Eagles. Is it a must-win for the Cowboys or for the Eagles?
I think it's a must-win for the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Eagles are 7-1. Cowboys are 5-2, if I'm not mistaken. So
those two losses are something that make you really question that team. Like, I mean,
they lost to the 49ers and Arizona Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken.
But they lost hard to the 49ers.
And Arizona's not that good.
And Dak Prescott was a free agent in fantasy. That's crazy. I didn't know that, someone's Achilles would go out on him. I would have picked up Prescott, but someone was faster than me.
Yeah, the only win the Cardinals got this year is the Dallas win. Wow, what is that saying?
And don't worry, I was faster than all of you guys. The minute that Prescott was dropped, I picked him up. I was like, I need a backup, right? And I told this to Danny. I was like, we started talking about how Aaron Rodgers might come back quick. And I'm like, ooh, Aaron Rodgers. All right, let me pick up Aaron Rodgers just in case. And I dropped Dak Prescott.
But that was you?
When I picked up Dak Prescott, one of my boys was like, hey, why'd you pick up Dak Prescott? You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, well, whatever. So as soon as I dropped him,
killer in fantasy, yo.
As soon as I dropped him, my boy picked him up.
He's a killer in fantasy. You know that.
Yeah, but but this year
he's having a little rough year. But
yeah.
I mean, when I had Dak last year, thank God I had him.
Yeah, fantasy is so unpredictable because like last week, my quarterback had 40-something points, then gets Nzo a whole 8. Lamar Jackson, man, come on, bro, you better than 8 points. That's something that I go out on there and get 8 points. Just for just for throwing up on the field. They suit up, okay, that's 8 points. Okay. We're gonna go to question 2 back for Roberto. I want to see what he says about this. Marcus Jordan, the son of Michael Jordan, wants his dad to be his best man in his wedding to Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. What do you think about that?
I've been hearing that on the radio all week. And
Nzo said it would be hard for him to tell his son no.
That's what I was just going to say.
I'm going to say my son going to have to convince me because that is a bad look.
The fact that it's out there, if you say no, I think that's a worse look. That's your son. That's your son. I mean, that's not some guy who played on your team. And you can easily say, I don't think so, buddy. What you're doing is wrong. His son, even though, and it's generational. So you're breaking a generational thing.
So he was.
If you say no.
His dad was his best man for his wedding with Juanita?
I think so. Because this is what I heard on the radio. It's a generational thing between them. Because, I mean, he already showed displeasure in this relationship. Why would his son still ask him?
Yeah.
Because I think it's generational. That's why, Danny.
Bro, I hear what you're saying, Roberto. And all I'm saying is that I ain't saying I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying my son would have to come with an excellent excuse other than Daddy, I need you because it's generation. Because
my excuse would be Daddy. Do you hear all that trash Scotty was talking about?
Yeah, that's
you?
what I said.
That don't matter though. Jordan don't care about
what
that.
Do you need? What do you need for him to sleep with Jordan's wife? What do you need for that, Daddy?
Say what? No, I'm just saying. Just because it's your son, just because it's your daughter, just because it's your wife, if it's something that you morally don't agree with, I ain't gonna do it. There's some things I'm not gonna do just because it's my family. It just ain't.
The third one, I understand.
There's some things I'm gonna do because it is my family.
The third one, I understand. The first two, no, sorry. Do you remember the order you put them in?
You said son, daughter, my wife.
Yes. The third one, maybe. But the first two,
you're gonna do more for your children than your wife?
Yeah. My wife knows that.
Wow.
I can't divorce my children.
You know what? I kind of no.
I got you there, Daddy.
No.
What? I can't divorce my children.
no.
They're my children for life.
I'm kind of right there. Well, I'm
Yeah,
kind of right there. I'm
but
with Roberto. My dad used to tell me all the time, "Listen, boy, this is my wife, and I'm gonna have her back way more than I'm gonna have yours. I'm spending the rest of my life with her, not with you. You know what I mean?" So yeah,
yeah,
I'm
and
like,
look at your look at your brother. You pretty much divorced him. That's blood.
who? Oh, you're talking
Roberto.
Roberto?
Yeah, but my dad would not do what my brother did.
I ain't trying to get into the semantics.
No, but just to touch that subject, what was done was,
yeah. I don't know about that, bro. My
well,
wife.
to each their own. My wife
Yeah.
knows it. If my wife chose the kids over me, I wouldn't be heartbroken. Because you know what? when you get a divorce, right? They don't tell you take the kids, get out. They say you get out, and the kids stay with them.
Yeah, I don't know what you say on that, but I plan on being for life. My wife, we married almost close to 30 years, and I don't think she going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
Neither am I, Danny. But listen, you're on a pole. Water's coming at you hard. You're holding all three. You can only save two.
Now that's an impossible question.
Dun dun dun.
I'm gonna say the three that's closer to me that I can hold.
You have a choice.
So who's the three? The two kids and your wife?
Yeah.
Oh, the wife's done.
Wow.
Yeah, the wife's done. No.
See, Nzo didn't even think about it.
No.
See ya.
Because here's why. Because we lived our life. You know what I mean? Depending on kids younger, whatever, you still have a full life to live. Like, I think my wife would even be like, no, drop me, let the kids live. You know what I mean? Because I would. Yeah, 100%. I would say, let me go. These kids.
I might would go and let them live.
What do you mean?
I'm saying if only three of us out of four can live, I might make that sacrifice.
Oh, and sacrifice yourself?
Yeah.
Or all four of you.
All right, if it's four of us and three of us,
I can't live without my family. You crazy?
Wow. Okay.
We're all going to have it together.
No, but let's say you can't. Let's say you can't make that sacrifice, Danny. Like, you can't be the one to sacrifice yourself, because if you do, they all die.
I don't know. I honestly can't.
We should save that for the OOC.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up, because that's a situation. It's hard to, like, you know what I mean?
Fucking right.
Oh, until you're in it, you know what I mean? Until you're in a situation like that, it's hard to say, yeah, I would do this and do that. But then when you're in the situation, regardless of what you choose, you're gonna live with guilt for the rest of your life.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So,
especially you get one of them ride or die wives. I mean, y'all click. I mean, y'all finishing each other's sentences. I mean, y'all deep in love, and then you got a knucklehead daughter or a knucklehead son that y'all all in water, and then you put them in that same scenario. You gonna let the ride or die wife go and a knucklehead live?
Yeah, I still have to. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's
an OC question. We getting too deep now.
That's what I was
okay.
saying.
Question number 4. Y'all gonna be happy.
You know what's funny? We'll ask that question on the OOC, and Danny will be in the chat. Oh no, this is too hot for me. I can't.
Yeah. I don't, man. That's a tough one there. I don't ever want to be in that situation.
I don't know what it. Yeah, for real.
Me either. I saw that in a movie that just traumatized me.
Victor Wembanyama. I think I'm saying his name right. They call him Wemby. Wemby for short.
Mm-hmm.
He is said to be the next GOAT. Is there truth to that, or is this just hype? And I'm going to start this off. I've seen this cat play. I've seen the highlights. I've seen 2 people on this panel that send me stuff and say he's going to be this, he's going to be that. I'm going to say the same thing we said about Patrick Mahomes in the Tom comparison. What's Tom's last name?
Brady.
Tom Brady GOAT comparison. It's too much too soon. Does he look like it? Does he have the potential to be it based on what we see right now? If you look at the eye test, I'm going to have to say yes. But we're only 6 games into the NBA. So he's going to have to put a lot of work. He's going to have to get some some MVPs. He's gonna have to get some all-star selections. He's gonna get some all-pro. Get some all-defense. He's gonna have to get his numbers up there. He's gonna have to win some championships. Then I'll be more apt to say it. But right now, I can't say he the GOAT. Does he have the potential based on this mini size we've seen, this 6-game, 6-piece hot meal? Okay, yeah. If he's the front runner for the GOAT, if we had to choose right now today, the GOAT of the NBA today, based on what we've seen, then he'd get it. But I can't say he's gonna be the next GOAT.
Shit,
Based
to be
on the
honest with
small
you,
amount of amounts that I've seen.
I've seen him do some amazing stuff. I still wouldn't say he's the GOAT of the NBA yet. Now I'm gonna be real with this topic. I'm not gonna be, because if I wanted to lie, I'd be like, yeah, he's the GOAT already, blah blah blah, and whatever, San Antonio bias. But to be real, I said it with Patrick Mahomes. You got to do a lot more to be the GOAT than just 6 games into your career to be able to be called the GOAT, right? But man, the potential that he has,
Yeah.
I think people are talking about him changing the game. I think it's possibility he could, but at the same time, we got to wait and see. It's way too early.
Okay, Roberto.
I never said he was the GOAT. I said he's more along, because I thought about that, and I said he's more along the lines of the next one. Because when LeBron came, he was the next one. I think he's the next one.
So you think he's next?
Yes. And I think he has potential to freak us out on a level beyond LeBron.
Let me ask you this question here. Take away all the antics and craziness with John Morant. Who is the more exciting player, John Morant or this cat?
This cat, because I saw John Morant, a better version of him called Allen Iverson.
Okay. You think Allen Iverson is a better player than what you see from John Morant?
Yep.
Okay.
I would say it's Wemby too, to be honest with you. What he does at his size and length, it's just like, you don't see big men that tall that can move like that. You know what I mean? He crossed over Kevin Durant.
So you think he's better than Kevin Durant?
I think Kevin Durant wished he was him. That's what I think. Kevin Durant wished, because, sorry to cut you off, Lonzo, but to me, I look like this is a center version of Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I see Kevin Durant in this kid, but I don't know. Maybe coming out of France, he's a little different, because that alley-oop layup kind of dunk he did, it looks so fucking unorthodox. I don't know how he put that basket in.
Well, for me, sometimes I think even on his shots, kind of a little unorthodox, because he shoots and he spreads his legs, and I'm like, why do you spread your legs like that on every shot? But I mean, at the end of the day, if they're going in, keep doing what you're doing. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Them kind of ways for me. But I see what you're saying. He seems like he can have all the skills of Kevin Durant, but be 7'3".
Was he 7'4"? With like a 8-foot wingspan?
7'3.5". They actually, it was his official height. Yeah. But he's one of those guys there, like at that height, like you could put him at the 2. You know what I mean? Not the 2, sorry, the 3. Right? You can put him at the 3, you can put him power forward, and you can play center. I just think what my biggest issue was, and I think if you watch all the analysts, they all say the same thing, is that he doesn't play in the paint enough. Right? Now, I know you want to be that, 3-point threat or whatever, and you spread the floor with that, but I think at least 50% of the possessions, he should just be down there in the paint where they're just lobbing him the ball, because no one can stop him. No one can stop him down low. Who are you going to put on him? Right? He has an 8-wing span. Like, he can just put his hands up in the air, and all you got to do is throw the ball to the rim, and when he catches it, he just has to lay it in. That's it. So,
there was a clip. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There's a clip, and I think it's being said that now that I think Magic Johnson said this. I saw it on one of the things I was watching, that black players thinking that that they're the creme de la creme of basketball players in the NBA, but it's slowly shifting to European players. Now I put this clip. I think I got off of Genius Pro.
Yeah.
But Kobe Bryant made this statement here, and I want to play it for you.
Kobe Bryant on Friday night said that European players are more skillful than American players, and when asked to pinpoint why, he said horrible, terrible AAU basketball. Now, this is not an uncommon criticism, but Kobe Bryant went out of his way to say that this is a problem that needs to be fixed. Now, Bryant, of course, spent his formative years growing up in Europe and learned how to play the game there. And he said learning from coaches who had been taught by Tex Winter and coaches like that really helped to develop his game. Kobe said this is a problem that he hopes will be solved soon, but he realizes it is not a quick fix.
It seems just like in baseball, how the South American players and Dominican players are taking over baseball. It seems to be happening with Europe and as far as the NBA. And this guy right here seems to be a product of that. Like I said, I didn't see him coming. And they said he played pros overseas. So, and then as we see just now, Team USA lost, was bounced. He ain't even medaled in the championship where the tournament earlier this year. So we see a great decline in the NBA players basketball. So this guy right here seems to be a product of that. And right now, everybody's saying that two of the top three players aren't from America. That would be Joker and Giannis.
Yeah, but there's also Embiid too, right? Because Embiid was MVP, so you have him up there too.
And also the one from Dallas. I can't think.
That's right, my boy.
Oh, Luka
Doncic.
Mm-hmm.
So the top 10 players, at least 4 or 5 of them are European players.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Embiid changes. I think he's American now. I think he changed his citizenship, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
but I believe he did. Don't quote me on that. I think I read that. I heard that somewhere. One of them changed his citizenship now, nationalized as an American. I think it was him. But the point I was making is saying that this guy's a freak of nature. And the guy on Dreamers Pro, what's his name? Marcellus Wiley, he was saying that physics, that no matter how good you are, physics, you can't beat the physics. And what an example he uses, somebody is, say, 6'5", 230, but can run a 40 in 4 seconds and can do this kind of stuff, has lateral quickness, has horizontal quickness, and just strong as a devil. No matter if your boy or one of us is 6 feet tall, he can't push enough weights, he can't run enough sprints to catch up with somebody like that. So if you're just physically bigger, faster, more skillful, then no matter how skillful you are, if you're not the same size, you're not going to be able to catch that. And no matter how good you are, if you got a 7 foot tall person that has a work ethic, has the body strength, has the speed, the agility, then he's going to be a problem. So this guy right now looks like a problem. But I will say, for a lot of problems, the problem solver is videotaping off season. I guarantee you this first season, he's going to be a terror because nobody really got tape on him. Or if there is, a very limited tape. But once these players and coaches start watching the videotape, I'm not saying they're going to stop him, but I think they're going to have a better game plan than what they have for him now. I just believe that is.
Well, I believe so too, right? And that's where his skill has to get better. He's only 19, right? And you can see he has a lot of skill, but he also has a lot of weaknesses, right? Doesn't read defenses as well. I'm pretty sure he's not really great at that in the NBA yet. So once, and I think it was Marcellus Wiley said it, or one of them said, but once he gets that eye, if he continues to get better, then yeah, he's going to be unstoppable. But you're right, Danny. He has to grow with when the defensive figure him out.
And I hope that he doesn't have any bad habits, because you come to America, you get bad habits: women, alcohol, money, notoriety. I hope he can handle all that. I hope he got a good core around him.
I do too, because it looks like the NBA is trying to push him as the next big thing.
Yep.
right? That's what I'm seeing. It's like they want him to be like the next
The next
LeBron
face, the
James
face
in the
of the
goal.
NBA.
Yeah.
'Cause I think they were now based on what I've seen before Ja did what he did, they were pushing him to be the face of the NBA.
Yeah,
But
I can
now
see
I
that.
don't think so much. Now I don't know who it is. So maybe this guy going to come in. There really isn't right now. It's to me the shared face of the NBA is LeBron and Curry.
Hmm.
They're the shared face. But after they, both of them, LeBron will be 40 next year. I think Curry will be 36 next year. They're getting older. So somebody has to pass the torch. I don't know whether Giannis is ready for it or can do it. I don't think he's personal enough to do it. So maybe this guy here, if he can keep his nose clean and keep his work ethic, then I think he might be past that torch.
Right. And I think that's the reason, like a lot of people say, oh, and I've heard them say this, especially Gilbert Arenas, the draft was set up for the Spurs to win it, right? Because what better coach for him to have starting his career than Greg Popovich, right?
Yeah.
So that could be the case. That could be, one of the best scenarios for him, which I think it is. And if they're going to build him to be the NBA or be the face of the NBA, what better
Yeah.
fucking coach to have than a humble coach that, wants you to be respect the game, but also
Nah,
realize
I
that.
was with you till you said humble. I don't know if Greg Popovich is humble. I won't say that. But
Yeah,
he's a
he's
good coach.
humble. No, but he wants his players. What I'm saying is he wants his players to be humble, like to respect the game. And he always says, "Be over yourself." You know what I mean? Not pounding your chest after you hit one shot in a game that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like Steph Curry does all the
How
fucking
about
time.
if that? Yeah, watch him out. How about that? Well, how about if that's part of your game that gets you pumped up?
It is. Sometimes players do it, right? And he does it. I've seen Wembley do it. I've seen him dunk the ball and then, flex the muscles and come
Yeah,
down.
because maybe not so much in basketball, but like when they would get touchdowns and To and those guys doing those after those celebrations, to me that enhanced the game.
Well, I agree with you with football because football's a little bit harder to score than in basketball. You know what I mean? So yeah, when you score one, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
if
but
you're,
if you get a good monster dunk and you joking,
yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can
come
hype.
down and do whatever. I don't care. And I ain't talking about do it 5 or 10 minutes. But if you do something kind of nasty, man, high
Exactly,
five
right?
but not
100%.
not every score like you saying.
No, I agree with you, right? You come down, you do a little flex or whatever, but Curry hits the shot and then runs half court, holding his face like, "Oh my god, I can't believe what I did."
Yeah,
Like,
because he
bro,
came
like
back.
that's too
Because
much.
it came back.
That's too much. That's too
Oh my
much.
God. You
That's too
hate her. You
much.
hate her. If he
You
was on
fucking
San Antonio, you'd be cheering him.
loving it.
Yeah. You hear that, Roberto? Did you hear that?
Who's he dissing now?
Steph Curry. He said if Steph Curry is on San Antonio, he'd be loving it. That right there. You hear
Not
it live,
surprised.
people. You heard it live. That is an example of haterade. Do not be a hater like
Yeah, you're
he's
not
a
you're
hater.
not playing for San Antonio, so fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no. And Quentin will tell you too. Like, I've always been loyal to San Antonio like that. So
I ain't talking about that, but that's you hate him because he don't play with. No, you hate the fact that he does this too much. But if he's on San Antonio, all will be forgiven. That is
yes,
crazy. That is
yes,
crazy.
yes. I'd be cheering with him too. I'd be running around my house, shaking my head, be like, ah.
Wow. Wow.
From he's not on the team, you got to be humble. You know what I mean? Respect the game. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
But I think
Roberto.
Popovich
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that before Roberto goes. I think Popovich has a good way of keeping that kind of thing in check. You know what I mean? Like he would never put the brakes on Steph Curry to stop him from doing that. But I know those kind of things kind of irk Popovich every now and then. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Maybe not. Maybe it seems like it does when he's on. When he's back, he's like, because I heard. Remember when the Lakers played the Spurs and then Derek Fisher hit that .4 shot?
Uh-huh.
Robert Ory talks about that, and Robert Ory always says that Popovich said, "Take the ball out of Kobe's hand because I hate that fucker." You know what I mean? So maybe behind the scenes, he's like, "Yeah, you gonna smoke these motherfuckers."
Kobe would get him if he had the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
A Mamba.
Yeah, you couldn't give it to Kobe.
You got anything else you want to say on this, Roberto? Or the Wemby, the Wemby sensation?
Aside from, I told you. No. No.
It's funny. Go ahead, Roberto.
No, aside from that, that's it, man. I mean, he could always get hurt. He could always. I don't see his skill set declining because he looks like he does it without effort. It's not like he's trying. It looks so natural. And I think the reason he's not going down low, because that's so typical of the big man game. But when he does, like Anto says, decide to do that, I think that 38 is going to come very easy.
Yeah. I think the playing in the post is that's something of the past. It's done gone. We're not going to see that for a long time.
Not the way.
What's his name? What's his name in Milwaukee?
Playing in the paint and playing in the post. I mean, I can't even name last time I see him really play a post up move was back to the rim. Some days is over.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with that. You were saying Roberto, which guy?
What's his name on Milwaukee?
Talking about Giannis?
Giannis. He brings the ball up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when did you see a big man doing that?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna do it no more now since Dame on there. They ain't gonna be.
He does it sometimes. I watched him play. Sometimes he brings it up
in the break or just regular.
What do you mean in the break?
In the fast break, he brings it up, or does he bring it up regular when they take
like
it out?
On an inbound?
Wow. I don't know why.
And Dame is already at the half court.
I'd have been giving it straight to Dame. Hey, that's your job, bro. I'm going down here to do what I got to do.
I think that stuff will get worked out because you got to remember your first time with the team, right? It's gonna be an adjustment period. Yeah, so Dame doesn't really want to come in there and be like, okay, give me the ball right away. You know what I mean? He has to work himself into the system. By mid-season, I don't think Giannis will be doing that. I think it'll be Dame controlling the whole thing. Yeah, I think he has to get a little accustomed to it first.
Yeah, that's probably right. Next question. Harden had an interview after the game, his first time as a Clipper. Harden says, and his exact quote was, he's not a system player. He says he is the system. Is this Harden's last chance to save his legacy? Or do you think he's going to go and do what he's always been doing? Skip Bayless has said on several occasions that he quit his way out of Philadelphia. He quit his way out of Brooklyn. He quit his way out of Houston. Do you think he's going to do the same thing? Or do you think that he's somewhere around right now he can flourish? Because Rachel, can't think her name, but she was on there Friday. Rachel Nichols and Keyshawn Johnson was talking along with Skip. And Keyshawn and Rachel are saying that if he does what he says he's going to do, and Keyshawn believes he will, that this will save his legacy. If he does it, then he's going to go down in history as someone that had a lot of potential, was very good, but at the same time had a selfish streak in his body. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to do what he says he's going to do and be a team player and sacrifice and do what he does, do what he needs to do to get wins, or he's going to go back to the same old habits? Whoever wants to go first.
You go first, Roberto.
Well, thank you. Him saying he is the system shows me that he hasn't changed. It's a dysfunctional system. I think whatever system he claims to have is not a system that works because he has 0 rings on his finger. And he can't really commit. I think his ego's in the way. That's personally what I think about Harden. Because I don't really like his game, to be honest. There's too many guys who are ball magnets on that team already. Because when Kawhi gets healthy, it's the Kawhi show. And if it's triple teamed, you know it's going to George.
Yeah, Kawhi and George looked good against the Lakers the other night.
They
look very good.
But they lost, right?
Yeah, they lost over.
But freaking LeBron looking good for his age too, man.
I don't know what LeBron made a deal with the devil. That sucker. He looked just as good as he did 4 or 5 years ago.
I was like, LeBron step back 3, taking it to the hole, right? And I think he was like pacing him because I watched the whole game. I think he was like pacing himself to the whole game.
He played like 43 minutes.
Yeah.
They still complaining about how the minutes he's playing with the age on him. that sucker. Anybody that puts $1 million+ in your body, what do you expect?
For real.
You
I was
got a
impressed.
nutritionist. You got somebody. I think he sleeps in that hyperbolic chamber. He gets all these kind of crazy massages. Does all this kind of water exercising. Man, he puts in the hats off
If
to him.
he
I can't say nothing bad about that.
if he can actually play at this high level for the whole season, yeah, I'm gonna be impressed. I'm not gonna say, oh, he's the GOAT now or anything like that, but I
Yeah.
will definitely be impressed because I think he'll be the first player ever to be at that age and
Yeah.
score that much points in a season. Yeah,
If he plays like he's playing currently now, I don't know if we'll see somebody in our lifetime catch his scoring title.
I agree. Unless someone comes in there and like just puts up godly numbers every game, you know what I mean?
Wimby better have
Like average 50 points a game, you know what I mean?
fantastic.
Yeah. But my thing is, okay, so even if Harden decides that he is going to play within the system, he is still not going to be a fucking factor in this team. He plays no defense. And then in the fourth quarters of playoff games that matter, right? Game 7 that matter, he disappears. He shoots 3 for like 16, and all Harden does is dribble, shoot. Dribble,
Step over,
shoot. You know what I mean? So what are you gonna do? You're gonna put him in the second coming off the bench where he gets to at least, control the second unit. But when he does that, he's gonna try and take over games, and that's gonna be a problem. He can't do that.
This is what I would do if I was Ty Lue. I would say, look, we got 4 bona fide all-stars. Russell, him, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard have all been in the All-Star game multiple times. I think with the exception of Paul George, all 3 of them have won, and 3 out of the 4 have won MVP one year. They're probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. I will let Paul George and Kawhi start it off. When they need a break, then you put in Russell and Harden. And if they keep doing that tag teaming and just keep the wins to about 55, 60, they'll make the playoffs. And then I would figure it out then.
I don't know if I would want Russell and Harden on the court at the same time. I mean, because that could be explosive, but that could also be a big disaster too, right?
Well, I mean, you would monitor it now. If they go in there and the game's in a plus, yes. But if it goes to a drastic minus, then okay. Oh no. Kawhi, but if you don't rest Kawhi, somewhat. Right now, he don't have, in my opinion, he don't have a legitimate excuse to say he's gonna play too many minutes. And they can sneak the load management in there because they got a legitimate person that can score in James Harden and somebody going to increase the tempo in Westbrook. So they got rest. They just got to monitor it. Okay, we're gonna let Harden go in here. Kawhi, you're gonna sit down the next 6-7 minutes. As long as they keep it close, whatever, they can do that. Right now, they got the perfect mix to take this all away. Whether or not they can coexist, whether or not they can keep the egos at check. But I think if you win that ring and you start winning, what's the saying? Winning cures all ills.
And I'm right there with you, Dan. I think because of the new load management rules, it's going to look different now. You may see where the Clippers are playing, like, let's say, the Bobcats. Kawhi will, on a back-to-back, let's say even on a back-to-back, Kawhi will come in, play 10 minutes, and then he won't play the rest of the game. That's pretty much load management where he still played, he still suited up, he still played, he just didn't play 23, 25, 40 minutes, right? But at the same time, if you're playing the Bobcats, do you really need Kawhi to play 23 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Paul George. Paul George kind of injury prone too. So maybe you play him 20 minutes. You play Kawhi 10 minutes. You play Paul George 20 minutes. And then you let Harden and fucking Westbrook run the game.
Exactly. Yeah. They got the team. They got the caliber players that can hide the load management. If they only get on the same page, they put the egos aside. They are, to me, they are the most dangerous team.
I think Russell kind of put his ego to the side a bit.
I believe he did too.
I don't see Harden doing that.
Me either.
You start winning. And I think he knows somebody gonna have a real talk with him. Look, if you come here and you mess this up, this is your last stop. Nobody else is gonna get Harden.
It is.
If he come here and blows this up.
It is his last
in my opinion.
No, you're right. It is his last time. If he doesn't work on this team, then no one's gonna want Harden. Nobody. I would disown San Antonio the minute I hear we are trading for James Harden.
Lord, let that happen. Let that happen. Let that happen, Lord.
No, Bob ain't that dumb. Bob ain't that dumb. No. But I think if Wemby had let's say Wemby had Lillard there, oh my God, those guys would be so good. I think the problem with the Spurs is there are a lot of young players on the team and they make bad decisions.
The Spurs gonna make the playoffs.
I think they might too.
Yep, playoffs, not play in, playoffs.
Yeah, I think they might too. I think they might too.
All right, Roberto, you got any last thing? We're gonna switch to football.
Well, let's do this.
All right. Question. The Las Vegas Raiders clean house this week. They fired Josh McDaniel. They fired the GM Dave Ziegler. And there's a lot of pointing of fingers at the owner, Mark Davis. Some people, the question that was asked, well, I'm going to ask y'all is it more Mark Davis's fault about this Raiders poor season, or is it more the coach Josh Daniels' fault?
You know what I think, and I say this with a lot of teams, when you change your coach over and over and over again, I think that becomes an issue, right? That's like you got to learn a new system now, and every year or two you have a different coach. That's what the Raiders' problem is. They have pretty good talent on the team. I just don't think they have. Listen, you get a good coach in there and you keep him in there for at least 5 years. And if after 5 years nothing's going on, then you get rid of him, right? But I think you gotta at least give some of these guys a chance. And I think a lot of NFL teams, they want to win right now, and it's like now. And then if your coach ain't doing it, that's the first person you go to. So, I would say the owner for hiring these guys. You know what I mean? I'd say the owner.
Okay.
I was gonna say who's been there that we could say is like a renowned coach, a coach with accolades that.
Yeah, Chucky.
Who?
Chucky.
Gruden.
Yeah, but then he got into some conspiracy and he was gone. Not even 2 years.
Yeah, but the question was who's been a coach there that has some cachet.
Even with Gruden, they were 1 or 2 games above 500. Either that team is cursed because of ownership, or I don't know, man. Maybe their farm team, their drafting camp. I don't know who, but obviously someone's responsible because, I mean, aside from the Marcus Allen days and stuff like that, I don't remember the Raiders ever being or having a quarterback that you could say, oh my God, they're coming in town.
I think when the Gruden played was the last time they had a really decent quarterback.
Who was he?
Huh?
Who was it?
Gruden.
No, but who was the quarterback?
Gruden.
Gruden was the quarterback? He was the coach.
No, he was the quarterback for the Raiders when they had Tim Brown and everything. He was a quarterback. He was the one. No, not Gruden. Was it Gruden? Yeah, Gruden coached for them, if I'm thinking right.
He coached, not a player. What are you smoking today, bruh?
No, he was a player for them too. Hold on.
Not a quarterback.
Mark Gruden?
I can't see that guy being a football player. If anything, he must have been a kicker.
Hold on.
The only quarterback I remember being good for them was that guy way back in the day. What's his fucking name? Plunkett, yeah.
Oh no, they had a better one than that. Hold on, I'm gonna check.
I'm gonna
Because
say.
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. The question
I'm
was.
trying to
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm trying to figure out when they went to yeah, he was I knew Rich Gannon, that's what I'm thinking. Sorry, not
Gannon.
Gruden.
Gannon.
Yeah, Rich
Buchanan
Gannon.
was like a one-hit wonder.
No, he took them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. One-hit wonder.
No, he had a good couple of years with them.
He was average.
This is what this question when I'm asking was posed on First Take, and this is what Mad Dog said. I agree with Mad Dog.
100%. I'll add two things. First off, don't go to the Belichick tree. Joe Judge, a disaster. Patricia, a disaster. McDaniels, a disaster in Denver. His coaches do not turn out to be big-time coaches. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to put the blame on Mark Davis. He has done an atrocious job as an owner. He gave 10 years to Gruden. That was way too much. He bailed out of the city of Oakland. He lost any kind of home field advantage he ever wanted to have. He went to Vegas. They have no home field advantage in Vegas. That's a site for the opposing fan to show up. So it's like LA with the Chargers and the Rams. No home field advantage whatsoever. His father lost his fastball long before his ownership scenario ended when he passed away. And Mark Davis is just not a big owner. I mean, let's just call it like we see it. When I think of great owners in the NFL, I am not thinking of Mark Davis. I would never have brought McDaniels in after the Belichick tree. Obviously, Gruden, he gave him 10 years for Gruden. 10 years. Where did Gruden earn 10 years?
Over $100 million. Over
that was a
$100
ridiculous
million.
contract. So, thank you, Stevie. Over $100 million. So, though it's easy to put the blame on, obviously, the McDaniels, Garoppolo, go ahead. Derek Carr, bringing Adams in for all that money. Go ahead. Dave Ziegler, go pound them until the cows come home. I got no problem with that. And Steve made a great point. Bichetti did a great job. They played great in the playoffs that year against Cincinnati. Could have won the game. They should never have fired him. But I'm going to put it right where it starts, with ownership. Mark Davis is not a big-time guy. If I was a Raider fan, he would not be the guy that I want running my team.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I definitely believe it's the owner. I don't believe it's the coach. But I do believe, and he said this is kind of, he kind of went at Belichick. He said, do not pick anybody. Teams in the future should not pick any coach from the Belichick tree, that they are not good coaches. And that's kind of,
Well, you got to look at the numbers. He's making a point, though, Danny.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying.
Harsh, but numbers-wise, he has a fact.
Yeah, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying, that's harsh.
Yeah, that's harsh, but it's fact.
Because you would think
Sometimes
somebody
facts are harsh.
Yeah, someone that's great will produce great fruit, so to speak. You take a good tree that bears a lot of good fruit, where a tree that bears fruit would bear good fruit, but apparently that's not the case with Belichick. So, and now we've seen that maybe he wasn't so good because he doesn't seem to be very successful without Tom Brady. So,
you see the problem with, and I don't want to go back to San Antonio, but I will, because Popovich has had a lot of coaches under his wing, and they've thrived. Steve Kerr, you know what I mean? Ime Udoka, all these guys have thrived because Popovich has given them a chance to have their input. You can tell Belichick is the head coach. He calls the plays. He does.
He's a narcissist.
Everything.
He looks like a narcissist.
Right. So you may think your offensive coordinator, oh my God, they played for Belichick, he's shining. But if Belichick's the one making the final decisions on the calls and stuff, then you understand he's holding those coaches back, making them look better than they are. Then they get these big contracts, go to a team, and you realize that, this guy ain't good at all, right?
I have to agree with Nzo.
Yeah.
It's like the running backs in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really thought Tony Pollard was going to be better. I'm a little disappointed on his lack
The
of
O-line
progress.
is not that strong this year. I don't think they have the number one O-line this year, so I don't really blame Pollard. He's riding off of, the past where, the O-line would toss people around and you have a hole that Stevie Wonder could run through. And,
but
it's proven that two key running backs for Dallas left to go to another team and got big money like these Belichick coaches, and they flopped wherever they went. I think the only true running back, and that's my number one guy, is Barry Sanders. He's the only running back that I could honestly say doesn't even need an O-line.
And I agree with you because, not the Barry Sanders stuff. I don't know. No. I agree with you in a way, but I
Okay.
also think that the NFL is kind of different now. So I don't know
It
how
is.
he would put. I don't know how he would if he'd be able to do the things that he did in today's NFL. The faster, the stronger, stuff like that. So I'm not gonna say you're wrong with that, but I do agree with you. Right. When you have a great O line, they make any shitty running back look good. You know what I mean? And a lot of these guys,
I think
Le'Veon
they
Bell.
I think they can make a shitty O line look good. I agree with you, but I think no. Say that thing again.
No, he said a good O line will make a shitty running back look
Yeah,
good.
I agree with that statement, but I think
You want
sometimes I ain't talking. I heard a little slick stuff about Le'Veon Bell. I don't. I agree with that part of it, but sometimes, like in the case of Barry Sanders, and I want to put somebody else in that category, Walter Payton, because there
Yeah.
was some runs that Walter Payton, when he was past the O line, he was making people miss way past the line of scrimmage.
You're
So
right.
I think that the initial burst to get through the line of scrimmage, I'll say yeah. But once you get past the line of scrimmage, that's all you.
Yeah, I agree.
There are a lot of
But think
quarterbacks,
about it.
running backs that when they got past that line of scrimmage, they were like him, Tony Dorsett.
I'll give Emmitt Smith his
Emmitt Smith.
respect. But did Emmitt
Marcus
Smith run
Allen.
behind the number one offensive line in football?
I think he did at one time.
Many years.
Okay. More times than not. I know the
Mhm,
Hogs.
yeah.
The Hogs had the number one O line in football in the 80s.
That helped run.
In the 90s,
that helped Riggins.
it was Dallas. Dallas,
I agree.
no matter who you put behind in the backfield, they got 1,000 yards easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
But to your point though, like Danny said, after Emmitt Smith would break that line, he was fast enough. And,
Yes,
you know what I mean, had the moves
yes.
to do
I
it.
won't
So,
lie.
yeah.
I cannot. I said besides Emmitt Smith, because
Yeah,
Emmitt Smith
yeah.
had skills. He was a strong running back, could break tackles, could deuce a guy, make him lose his pants. He could do all of that stuff, but he just happened to be fortunate behind the number one offensive line of football.
I always say when you look at a running back, you can tell which ones played like murder ball or British or tag or stuff like that, right? Because when you see a guy being able to like just deke out motherfucker spin moves, you know what I mean? Do cross step run, that dude played British.
Like
That
Kamara.
dude played tag. Yeah.
Kamara's another one like that, man.
They played tag. They played all those touch kind of things back in the day where you had to like dodge, like murder ball. Oh my god! If you didn't know how to deke out a murder ball, you were getting tagged constantly. So, I think it all comes down to that. There's a lot of running backs who are just hit the hole, go straight. Like I'll give you an example: the bus. The bus was never one of those I'll deke you out type of guys, but he was so big he would just bust through a line, and then you need like 3 or 4 guys to take him down. He wasn't deking nobody. He was just using pure power to go straight. You know what I mean?
I love that kind of running.
That's the guy with Derrick Henry. That's what he does.
Yeah. They're just too big.
They're too big to take down.
Yeah. So
But
they
I
just
find
went straight through a hole.
Derrick Henry's not having the success of, say, the Riggins and the Okoyes who consistently ran through people, because I think this new NFL is a little different, the way they have to play the game.
Them linebackers is bigger.
They're bigger, but Danny, back in the day, there was nothing to stop you from ripping a guy's head off, literally.
I agree.
Now, if you lead with your helmet, if you accidentally hit with your helmet, if you push the quarterback too hard, depending who it is, there's just too many things that work against and make defensive players second guess. And I think that's what's ruining the football lately.
To me, it ain't ruining it. It's making it safer, and I like the balance and a good hit. Yeah, I like it, but I don't want to be so, because this man, you like 260. These linebackers and other position players, they wasn't that big back then. They were still. It was very violent. But man, can you imagine if they faster, stronger, and quicker now? With the same velocity, man, you kill somebody. How many times we already seen where the person been hit and stopped breathing? That done happened a couple times within the last 5 years. I ain't never remember that happening back there in the 80s and 90s. Because they just
because
so
you know why,
Danny?
now. You know why?
Why?
Because you had to play with your head up back then. Now it's so censored. Even in hockey, guys are doing stuff with their head down. When they get hit, they're knocked out. Because why? They don't expect to get hit anymore. You don't expect those hits to come. Like this thing now, defensive receiver, defenseless. When you go through the middle and catch a ball, it's open season. Okay, listen. Nobody is forced to play these sports. Nobody is forced to watch these sports. But when people want to change the game from how it's been, I understand safety is important. But when you start taking elements out of the game, if you seriously ask these players back then and now, how are they playing the game? There's too much thinking in the game now. And as fast as it is, I think the two just can't work together. Because the refs are making some fucking horrible no calls and calls because the game is, I don't know.
I see your point to a certain extent, but at the same, to play devil's advocate, it got to have some kind of safety. It can't be barbaric.
Make the helmets thicker. Make the shoulder pads thicker. Don't fucking start making it, because this whole thing, I think Brady's the reason for it, that, you can't tackle a quarterback. You want all the accolades. You're the number one guy. You know why that is? Because you're playing the highest risk position. You could get hit and your career is over playing that position.
I don't have a problem protecting the quarterback.
I don't think
I do.
I don't think it's a Brady thing either. I think they've seen that a lot of these good quarterbacks were going down, and then you'd have a big game.
Look at Theismann.
When I say the Brady thing, but LT was on coke. Come on, Danny. That's a bad example, man. That man was coked up. That guy could have run through a brick wall. That guy was a savage. He was a savage.
I agree with you too, Roberto. I do, because I'm old school football. I love the hits. Like when I see a hit, I'm like, oh.
Say Ronnie Lott. How much did Ronnie Lott weigh?
I don't know.
About 2-something.
Maybe 205, 210.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a beast, man.
But this guy would put tight ends on their ass. When you catch that ball in the middle, you got to be afraid when this guy. Who are you afraid of on the field now?
Yeah, but the thing is, and for me, I say, like, okay, so let's say you go with those rules, right? You're in a playoff game.
203.
You knock out, 203? Okay, yeah. So you knock out the opposing player's quarterback. Now, let's say by chance that team still wins. You're going into the next round with a team that's not as exciting as it was when you have the starting quarterback. So I think the reason why the NFL did it is to preserve the game, not because they care about the players or the quarterback. I think it ruins the quality of the game if you're watching a playoff game and you got a backup quarterback.
I won't disagree with you, Nzo, but I think that's more for ratings, more so than because
they're making that money. So who wants to see Patrick Mahomes not in the Super Bowl?
All the teams that are playing against him.
Yeah, I know, but who want to see Danny Graham as the backup quarterback for
Danny?
I want to see that. I know.
I would love to see Dak Prescott fracture his finger and sit out the rest of the season. I would love to see. I don't want him to die, but if he's out and he's the reason they're winning, hell yeah. No, that's sports. God, that's sports, man.
No, I want to beat you at your best. So then you can't.
This is not boxing. This is not if that's a one-man sport, I agree with you 100%, Danny. But this is a team sport.
I want my team to beat your team at the best. No. You can't come here talking about.
So you know what?
Well, guess what?
Spend the money, get the right players, and protect your ass. Because if you don't, I'm gonna break you.
I am right there with Roberto, right? Because let me give you an example. Toronto and fucking Golden State. I was glad when those motherfuckers were injured. Yes.
Yes, of course. 100%. Of course, because if they were there, you think Toronto would have won?
Yeah, exactly. I don't care if we beat a weakened team. We won. That's your problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem.
You played this guy too much in the regular season. You damaged him up. You couldn't let him get to the finish line. You shouldn't have went so hard in the middle of the chat.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Thank you. That's why we do a show together.
I'm shocked.
Man,
Oh my
Spurs go
God.
up against the Lakers in the finals, and Shaq gets injured. Yes, baby, let's go. 100%.
Yes.
So you mean okay? So that championship. Which championship will mean more to you? Shaq hurt, Kobe hurt, y'all beat him, or Shaq playing his best and Kobe playing his best, and y'all just go out there and whip
I
their ass.
I don't
Which
think
champ-
of it either way. Championship.
I'll be happy both ways.
Wow.
Facts. Facts.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
And
we
you know
still
what?
beat.
When
we
you
still
say
beat
2
Kobe and
championships, hold on, Anzo. When you say 2 championships, you don't say, well, the first one was Kobe and Shaq in the game, but the second one they were in, so we won 2. No, I won 2,
But
mother.
I could
I
tell.
won 2.
But there's
Hey.
the asterisk. There's the asterisk on that
The
championship.
only
Lakers won.
asterisk is on your
In the
side of
bubble.
the field. You guys can put asterisks.
Yeah, for
Bubble's
real.
different, Danny.
Yeah,
The
for me.
bubble's different.
And
Don't put
and-
the bubble of injuries in the same
and
category.
Roberto,
No,
Roberto, I still beat Shaq and Kobe. They just happen to be sitting on the bench. That's not my fault.
You know what I'm saying? It hurts even more when you're watching.
Facts. Facts.
And on another note,
the thing
I
here
recall
about
a show
the thing
where
here
the
about
host. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Danny.
No, go ahead. I want to hear this.
I recall on another show where the host was gloating about only enjoying victories against me and my co-host partner, Mr. Biggaford Entertainment. Could you tell him what happened, Anzo? What happened when he met us? Your 2 losses are against us, sir. So you better watch your choose your words accordingly.
No,
Don't piss off the football guy.
yeah, but I'm going against y'all. That's 1-on-1. But
It's
I'm
okay.
telling you, it's gonna the season's gonna be better if I beat both of y'all. If I'm ahead of y'all,
So
than
the
just
season
one of
sucks
y'all.
now.
No. I'm saying the season's gonna be better for me, and in this season, if I'm ahead of both of y'all instead of one of y'all.
Anzo got his only victory
just
against
is.
Danny. That must be even better. Facts.
But he ain't made it to the
cracked the
playoffs.
egg.
I ain't worried about that. He gonna be out. Anzo
He's
is
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'm not even
Yeah,
worried
Anzo
about
just
that.
won his Super Bowl. You see,
If
like
I
when
can
Dallas,
get ahead of you, then that's gonna make up for my season.
when Dallas beats, when Dallas loses to Philly, that's my Christmas gift. When that's Anzo's Christmas gift when you crack the egg.
No, when we beat Dallas, that'd be my Christmas gift. When the Commanders beat Dallas, that's my Christmas gift.
You see,
But we don't usually meet them till after Christmas.
I don't care, but I'm ready. That's my. They ain't gonna go to Super Bowl. As long as they beat Dallas, I don't care.
Facts. That's
feel
exactly
you.
it. I ain't going to the playoffs, but as long as I beat Danny, I'm okay.
Wow. You wait till
I would be okay too. Anzo.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna meet again.
If I get my only 2 victories against Danny, that's my Super Bowl.
It ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna get you twice.
Oh my gosh.
Good
But yeah,
show,
man.
fellas. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say for me, like I said, I don't care how I get to the cup as long as I get the cup. You know what I mean? I go through every single playoff round with the star player injured. Oh well.
I ain't gonna be crying if I win, but I'm just saying it'll be sweeter if I could beat you at your best. That's all I'm saying.
As a competitor, and I've heard like teams say that they wish they would have played, Steph Curry and like the full team. But at the end of the day, I'm still a championship. So
yeah. Oh no, I ain't gonna turn the ring down. I ain't gonna rock the ring, and I ain't gonna say nah. But if I beat you at your best, then boy, that smirk could be a little bit more deeper.
Yeah, I agree.
That laugh will be a little bit more longer. And
I
I'd be all kind of, when I'd be woof.
I agree with that because you could always say, "Yeah, you beat us, but I didn't play." You know what I mean?
I want to hear that. I beat you. Your ass scored 40 points, but guess what? You still lost, and I scored 50 points. How you like me now? Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Why didn't you play? Because you couldn't take care of your shit, huh? Well, my shit's well taken care of, and I'm taking it. Whether you're on the bench watching me or on the court watching me, I'll take it. You're wearing that jersey. You're part of that organization. You're feeling the loss the same way.
One more thing before we go. Did you guys see the Denver Nuggets championship ring?
No.
Holy shit. That ring is fire, bro. First off, okay, so you know how the Denver logo has the 2 little, I don't know, they look like fucking pool sticks or whatever, right? And then it has the blue, and then it has the yellow stick, and then it has a blue. They can fucking switch something on the ring to where it closes and it just shows all diamonds. Then I seen them pull this little slot out of the side of the ring. I don't know what it was because I gotta watch it again. But I was like, that ring was fire, bro. When they showed that ring, I was like, these guys are on point, bro. Their ring is fire. I want to get my hands on one of them championship rings, man.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, the rings are fire.
What happened to Danny?
He's there. I think
He's on mute.
Yeah, he's probably on a phone call.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm right there with you, man. And I love the fact that Roberto, who isn't a Spurs fan, is bigging up someone on the Spurs team. Even my son. I messaged my son and I'm like, Wimby. And my son was like, yeah, man, I can't even lie. He looking good.
He's looking better than good, yo.
I was like, I can't even lie. Yeah.
Because everybody's expecting him to fail. Like, there's supposed to be the next in hockey. He's nowhere near progressing on the level as Wemby. Nowhere near.
19 years old. That's crazy, man. It's just gonna.
You know what? I think they said he's the first basketball player ever to score 38 points in his rookie career in the fifth game.
No, he's third on the list. There was two more before him, I think.
No, in his fifth game. If you look at the amount of games they played to get those points, he's number one.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because they showed LeBron. LeBron was 30-something games. They showed Kobe was 50-something games. This guy did it in his fifth game.
How many games he scored? How many points he scored in 5 games?
He had a 38-point game in his fifth game.
Or it took
in his rookie. Yeah, it took them a lot longer.
A lot of people saying he's going to be an all-star this year.
I can see it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
If he keep this up.
Look, he has us talking about him during the football segment.
I just switched to that because Danny was on his phone, you know. So
okay.
I get in some quick more Spurs talk before we go.
Wow.
You know what's funny though? I've watched more basketball this year.
I wonder why.
I watched in the
because the Spurs finally don't suck.
Contemplate on yourself, Daddy.
Oh, it was a good show, fellas. Roberto said you got to jump out of here, and then Milan's going to stream here at 7. So before we get out of here, man, Roberto, where can the people find you at, good sir?
Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock. Me and Nzo keeping it live off our chests. With sometimes Danny's there to visit us. We got JG up in the house. It's all fun, man. You guys should join us.
Yep, fantastic show.
I'm here too, so
Yep. Nzo, where can people find you at, good sir?
Like Roberto said, OOC Square Ones on Saturday, and you know what? We do a lot of things, but I love coming on here talking sports. You know what I mean?
I love it.
I love because you watch some channels and they're just on one topic, like pop culture or this or that, And I think we all have versatile takes on a lot of subjects. So I think that's why it's good that we do different types of shows. Keeps it more entertaining. I love talking about sports, love the OOC, love the pop culture stuff and all of that stuff. But when it comes to like these kind of stuff, this is what I love. So great show, Danny.
Yep. And I'm your host, Danny Graham, and I definitely love this show. Like Nzo said, man, sports is definitely important in our lives, and we always have competitions going on. Hey, what's the current thing now?
Roberto is in first. Chris Knight ended up becoming into second. I don't know how the fuck you did that.
Because last week.
Yeah, and Danny Graham is last place.
I am stinking it up. This season has been so unpredictable. Because last week I was like, I should pick everybody who I think is that should win, but probably going to lose. I didn't do that. If I had done that, I'd have made up some ground. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm about 10 games behind. So
I think this week is the toughest week easily of the season. I think this week is going to separate us a couple of points, either going up or down.
I didn't even check the schedule.
Toughest week, easy. You'll see, Nzo.
Yeah, Chris already sent his in, but I don't have a clue. I didn't even look at it yet. So.
It's effing hard.
Yeah.
Really?
I definitely want to see that game because that's probably the first game tomorrow, Kansas City and Miami. So that's definitely on my radar. I want to see that one.
Oh yeah, I got my DAZN app ready, man. So I got all the games, and I'm just watching them when they come on, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, definitely we appreciate it, man. We'll be back next Saturday if everything flows as it should. So thank you all for supporting us, man, and we appreciate
Yes.
it. And until then, take it easy. Have a good weekend. Peace.
Peace.